Good evening to the aspirants of the 2022 JCJ main examination. Welcome to my online class. Karibu sana in Kiswahili, and read what I posted on the screen. Anyone can unmute and read.
Yes, sir. You are welcome to the online class for JCJ 2022 main examination, the Indian Stamp Act 1899. Host Professor Dr. Mohammed Saheb Hussain, Square Team.
Whether writing the Indian Stamp Act 1899 is the correct way? If you know it, you tell me. If you don't know it, you say pass on.
It's correct, sir.
You are not supposed to write in that style. The Indian Stamp Act, comma, 1899. Or you can write the Indian Stamp Act OF of 1899. That is the exact way of writing. I will show you the exact way of writing here. Did you see it? Did you see it? Say yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
How it is written? Read.
Comma has there.
Yeah, if there is no comma, you can write OF of. OF of is in grammar what it is? Sir, we did not study grammar, sir. We studied in the high school, but we have forgotten there. OF of in grammar, what do you call it? If you know it, you tell me. If you don't know it, you say pass on.
Conjunction.
No. Conjunction are and, but, subordinating conjunction and coordinating conjunctions. And off is not the conjunction.
Sir, can you enlarge the screen? We can't see exactly.
Yeah, it is a PDF. No, I could not do it so.
No, you can do it from here. ये 100% का बाजू में इसको थोड़ा बड़ा कर सकते हैं आप. ये वाला 100% थोड़ा बड़ा कर सकते हैं.
Not 100% I could see it. But anyway, it doesn't matter because I will switch on to it. But I am asking the question, OF off in the grammar, what do you call it?
Sir, I can't hear you. Unless I can't say, I cannot say anything.
I say you are hearing me. OF off. The word in English grammar, what do you say? Yes? Say pass on. I will give the answer. Participants, don't waste the time. Don't kill the time.
Pass on.
OF of, they are the prepositions. Spelling preposition, which are dangerous thing. Off, on, under, beneath. These are all the prepositions. Okay. The Indian Stamp Act, comma, 1899, or you can write the Indian Stamp Act of 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 1899. That is the style of writing. Of course, that I took it from Arko Deep Gorai, the fourth year student of the MIT Law School. So a courtesy goes to him. So what is the purpose of Indian Stamp Act? Here I made it very much clear. The main purpose of this act is to generate revenue for the Indian government. What is the type of the act it is? There is a specific name for the type of the act. For instance, I will give you the example. Beneficial Act, Social Act, Punitive Act, and this act is called? If you know it, you tell me. If not, say pass on.
Pass on, sir.
Fiscal Act or Fiscal Statute. Spelling? Spelling?
FISCAL.
Fiscal means revenue or
Financial.
tax.
We call it fiscal budget, which means finance budget.
Yes.
Not revenue budget. There's a difference between revenue and finance.
See, it is called Fiscal Statute. So it generates the revenue for the Indian government. A document that is stamped acts as a valid evidence in a court of law. The Stamp Act also makes the payment of stamp duty on some documents compulsory, which in turn makes those documents legally valid and authentic. So let us see the Indian Stamp Act of 1899. What is true? What is true? What is 2? TWO2. Please tell me. If not, say pass on.
Pass on, sir.
I told in when I was doing the screening test, every act, when it is passed in that year, it will be consecutively numbered. So act number?
It is called serial number of that year.
Act number 2 in the year 1899. That is ID number. Is a fiscal statute laying down the law relating to a tax levied in the form of stamps on instruments. Now, to tell me, what are the instruments here in this case?
Bills of
In
exchange.
these junctures, what are the instruments?
Bills of exchange. Checks.
It is
Promissory
already
notes,
there on the screen.
bills of
I
landing,
don't know
euros.
why not.
It's already there. No, these are instruments only. Hundis, debentures, shares. These are
Yes.
instruments.
Does it come on the union list or estate list?
Yeah, I didn't get you. Can you speak it as can you soften your voice and talk, because your voice is too harsh. Can't it's echoing my ears.
You keep your sound less. There is an instrument to reduce it. Okay, now it is a both union list and state list.
State, please.
So transactions and stamp duties on instruments specified in entry 91 of the union list. I told you which will accept, namely bills of exchange, checks, promissory notes, bills of lading, letter of credit, policies of insurance, transfer of shares, debentures, proxies and receipts. I don't know what is meant by proxies. Venunath, could you enlighten it? I don't know whether Venunath heard my tone or not. Okay, let us see is levied by the union, and stamp duties on instruments other than those mentioned in the entry 91 of the union list are levied by the state as per the entry 63 of the state list. Provisions other than those relating to the duty fall within the legislative power of both the union and states by virtue of entry 44 of the concurrent list. Stamp duties on all the instruments are collected and kept by the concerned states. Because large scale changes in the use of the instruments since the Indian Stamp Act of 1899 was introduced, a need to amend a good number of the provisions of this act is being felt for quite some time. So, whenever an act is made over there, because of the time factor, as the society grows over there, the act should be also in keep pace with the changing of the society. So, Law Commission in its 67th report submitted in 1976 has made extensive recommendation in this regard. So, serious efforts now being made to bring a large scale amendments in the Indian Stamp Act of 1899 to bring this law in tune with the times, means changing times. Can anyone unmute and read this para? Can anyone unmute and read this para which I highlighted on the screen?
Throughout our lives, we come across various levels and types of transactions.
Yeah, just a minute. Because I want to enlarge it, it became so much big. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead now.
Sir.
I
Sir,
said, go ahead now.
there is a black something is.
No, now it is clear.
Oh. Throughout our lives, we come across various levels and types of transactions and documents. Some of these documents and transactions are of massive importance to us and the state. Without any mechanism of their regulation, it will be troublesome to keep a track of such transactions.
Yes. In our life, if you want to register something and you have to pay the stamp duty, we come across various levels and types of transactions, even for the land registration, house registration, or negotiable instruments, and we have to do the some stamp duty should be there to legalize it. Some of these documents and transactions are of the massive importance to us and the state also. And that is the one of the way to get the revenue to the state as well as to the center, depending upon the nature of the transactions. Without any mechanism of their regulation, there should be some mechanism. Otherwise, it is very difficult to manage it. It would be troublesome to keep the track of such a transaction if there is no mechanism, there is no rules and regulations. For this reason, the state introduced the process of registration. Now, can a Tahsildar will do the registration
No, sir.
as per the new regulations are concerned? Venunath, throw light on it.
It's only
Are you
stamp.
present?
It's yeah. Just coming.
There is some changes it.
No, there are no changes, but I believe I think Telangana government made some changes.
Okay, state government, depend upon the state to state.
State government, yeah.
Because they do have
Yeah.
such a mechanism.
Yeah. Earlier, the MRO used to have powers to do registration on some things, but now that is gone to collector's office.
Okay.
District. Yeah.
So
Because
now
of
for
lot
this
of
reason, the
lot of
state.
scams,
Okay.
lot of scams happening in Telangana for lands. The VRO's position has been abolished. Lot of things have been done.
Okay. Shall I proceed?
Yeah.
Good. The state introduced the process of registration. Now, once the mechanism was started, state also want to gain some form of revenue from such a transactions and documents. In order to gain the revenue, state introduced a system of stamp duty. So, Indian Stamp Act 1899 overviews Indian Stamp Act was amended in 1899 by the British government with the sole purpose of acting as a revenue generating mechanism for the government. This act imposes liability to pay the stamp duty on certain and specific documents. Indian Stamp Act acts as a fiscal legislation. What is the objective of the Stamp Act 1899? A. The main purpose of this act is to generate
Revenue to the government. Revenue to the
here on the
government.
screen. Read.
Revenue for the government.
When I
The
say
main purpose.
generate means immediately you should say revenue for the Indian government so that I could know participants are with me. They have not gone to the interval. They have not gone to eating the food. Is it clear?
Yes,
Say yes. So B, a document which is, what is that? Which is that, what is this?
No, actually, a document is that which is stamped.
That, that typed act, that type of acts as a valid evidence in the court of law means which is stamped over there, it is stamped. That is stamped by the context. A document which is stamped, let us see, that is stamped. No, stamped act is a valid evidence. What stamped acts? There is no stamped acts. So, a document that is.
No, in simple terminology, any document which is registered.
Yeah, we can make in this in another way also.
It is a
Any
valid evidence in
document,
court of law.
as per the statute acts, is a valid evidence in the court of law.
Yes.
Any document that is as per the Stamp Act, as per the, we can use like this also, as per the Stamp Acts, is a valid evidence in the court of law. So this way also we can make it out. And suppose in the beginning there is no stamp duty, only white paper it is written. Can you authenticate it later, validate it? Yes.
But it is said
Can you validate it?
as per the Stamp Act, any document which is prior to done. Hello.
Okay, if they say the stamp duty which you made is not sufficient.
You have to pay later on while selling the property.
Okay, okay.
Or else the government will, you can voluntarily go and give it, because every year government brings up amnesty schemes.
Yes.
Every year government brings amnesty schemes. So in that you can go and pay whatever deficit is there. Or else if you want to pay while selling it, then you have to pay the differences plus fine plus everything.
Okay. So the C1 is the Stamp Act also make the payment of stamp duty on some documents compulsory, which in turn makes those documents legally valid and authentic. So the stamp duty, the tax payable on certain and specific document is termed as a stamp duty. So stamp duty can be fixed or varied based on the value of the
Property.
product.
But stamp
Basically,
duty
yeah.
is not applicable on will.
Okay, okay.
So it is only on the will only registration is applied, that to 100 rupees only. But if you are giving power of attorney, then it is 400 rupees or 500 rupees for the stamp duty and 100 rupees for the registration.
Even that instruments means it should be also stamped with the gift deed, sale deed, lease, immovable mortgage, promissory note,
Yes.
bill of exchange.
Even mortgage also.
Yes. So basically, a stamp duty is a tax that is paid on the exchange of document or execution of instruments. So there are basically two kinds of stamp duty, and they are number one, impressed stamp. An impressed stamp is produced by the process of engraving or embossing. The labels in impressed stamps are affixed, and these impressions are done by
Franking
machine.
Franking machine.
Franklin. I was thinking it is a Franklin machine, but I came to know it is a franking machine.
Franking machine.
And that will be always the color of the stamp is?
It will be white color or red color.
No, red color mostly.
No, there's something called common seal.
Okay. Of course, you make embossing also sometimes.
No, common seal is normally it is for the companies.
Okay.
That is embossed on white paper, and it is normal and white only.
Okay. Does it depend from state to state?
No, as per Companies Act, it is a common throughout India. There is no change in.
As per the Registration Act or Stamp Duty Act?
That changes from state to state. Maharashtra has different.
Because
even Kotis also.
in the Telangana, especially pillar number 64, there is a registration office is there for some other people. Some other people it is Amirpet. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It is the impressed stamp through the impression, the Franklin machine. The second type of is adhesive stamp. Adhesive stamps are those stamps which can be stuck to a document using any form of adhesive. There are two types of adhesive stamps, and they are postal stamps. Postal stamps are their limited application. Postal stamps are used for the post office related transaction. And non-postal stamp, that is a non-postal stamp which wider application compared to the postal stamps. The non-postal stamps are revenue stamps, court fee stamps, insurance policy stamps. So these are comes under the non-postal stamps. So these are all purchased, and the back there is some paper would be there. You remove the paper and you stick it. In some places, no, you have to use the glue stick. Is it clear? Say yes.
Yeah.
So there are certain very important terms that are related to the Indian Stamp Act 1899. It is important for us to be aware of those terms, and they are conveyance. Can anyone unmute and read what is conveyance? Yes. Proceed.
Conveyance. Section 2, Class 10 of the Act defines the term conveyance. It basically includes an instrument by which property is transferred. It applies to both movable and immobile property. Sale deed, transfer of lease, release, settlement are all chargeable as conveyance.
Yes, when you transfer the instrument where the rights are transferred, the rights are extinguished, and interest are transferred, at that instance, you have to use the conveyance. The wording they say transfer a particular thing is called conveyance. And example, they say sale deed, transfer, lease, release, settlement, even the gift deed also. Am I right? Say yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Even the gift deed also. And here, section 2, you read class 10. How could you know it is a class 10 or subsection 10? Section 2, generally definition. When the definitions are there, I told you there is a tail. Here in this act, unless there is something repugnant in the subject or context, and here it is written 1. So this is not as a subsection. What is this? Class 1, class 2, class 3. Is it clear? So it is
Yes,
very
sir.
appropriate here. You said section 2, class 10 of the Act defines the term conveyance. So duly stamped. Again, section 2 is the definition, and every definition is independent, and hence section 2, class 11 defines this term. It means that the instrument bears the adhesive or impressed stamp not below the amount essential by the law, and further no violation to the manner prescribed by law, because the law will say how much the minimum, how much the maximum, that depends upon the worth of the subject or the property. The amount of the stamp to be used is governed by the provisions and schedule of the Stamp Act. There is a ready reckoner is there in the act, in the schedules. The manner of stamping is governed by the section 10 to 19 of the Act. How we can make it out? It is clearly mentioned in the section 10 to 19 of the Act, and also by the rules framed by the government time to time. Under this head are included particulars as to the description of the state and the policies and the number of the stamps to be used. Thus, an instrument which is to be written on a paper with the impressed stamp is not only stamped if it bears on an adhesive stamp of the value and vice versa. Suppose if the value is less, can you fix the adhesive stamp on the impressed stamp? Yes. Did you understand my question? A Franklin machine made it, but the registrar or the concerned person say it is not sufficiently stamped. So, can you make the adhesive stamp?
Yes.
Answer is yes. To compensate it. Suppose the Franklin machine having the another amount of it, instead of going over there, you can fix the adhesive stamp to compensate the total amount. Instrument.
It can be done.
Section 2, class 14 defines the term instrument. The instrument means any document through which any right or liability is created. Like sale, right is extinguished by the seller and the right is acquired by the
Buyer.
buyer. What about in the mortgage?
It is the it is the bank or the institution which takes it.
It is the interest only transferred, not the ownership. Is it clear?
Yes, yes.
Is it clear? Because once the mortgage money with the interest is paid, he can, what is the terminology?
Hypothecate.
No, you take back the property.
Ah.
What is the
Redemption.
terminology?
Redemption.
Recovery.
Redemption.
Redemption or recovery. Something like that.
Is it clear?
Yes.
So, instrument means any document through which any right liability is created or transferred or extended or extinguished. A document which helps to record such a right and liability, even though the document itself does not create such a right or liability, can also be termed as an instrument. So, with the instrument only the conveyance could be done. Instrument chargeable with the duty. All the instruments mentioned in the schedule are chargeable. The duty amount as mentioned in the act, in the schedule, the exception to the charges in an instrument which is executed by the government or executed for the purpose of a special economic zone. It is depend upon the nature. So the amount will be vary. How like stamp duty is more in the sale and stamp duty is less in stamp duty is less in
Gift.
gift. Why you are taking so much time? So valuation of the instrument for the levy of stamp duty. As we already know that the instrument are chargeable with the duty, but then it rises another question. That is, how is the evaluation of the instruments is done? The answer to the question is from section 20 to 27 clearly meant, excluding the section 22 of the Indian Stamp Act. It says how much they levied. So section 20 of the Act states that where an instrument is chargeable in respect of money in any currency other than the Indian, then is that, in that case, the duty shall be calculated on Indian currency and the exchange rate shall be applicable on the date of the instrument. Is it clear? Who will give the exchange rate? Who will provide the exchange rate?
Yes.
Sir, it is the State Bank of India. Who will provide the exchange rate?
Yeah.
Answer is?
Steel company or civil company?
Answer is it not the RBI? Is it not the RBI?
Don't know, sir.
Venunath,
Okay.
you are busy in your household talk. Yes, there is every day there is a circular comes to the each and every scheduled bank, including the private bank, the exchange rate. I don't know whether the exchange rate is applicable to the private bank because they may charge a bit less or more. But anyway, section 21 provides that where an instrument is chargeable ad valorem duty in respect to the stock, the securities then, in that case, at the value of the day is calculated by the average price of the stock or the security or the share on the particular day. They will calculate in the same like the currency. I think the stock exchange will give this the particular day of the shares.
Okay.
Am I right, Venunath?
I know.
Am I right, Venunath? You are not in a mood to listen. Okay, section 23 deals with the interest. It says that where interest is payable by the terms of an instrument, such a case the value of the duty shall not exceed the charge by which it would have been initially chargeable. So, how much the charge would be there? It is section clearly mentioned some 22 and 25, 26,
Excellent.
27, and let me see, 29 is the last one. Section 29 of the Indian Stamp Act provides for the person who is liable to pay the stamp duty.
I understand.
For the various instruments, there are various people. Yes, sir, Venunath, mute.
Yeah.
Your personal talk I could hear.
Yeah.
For various instruments, there are various people who are liable to pay the stamp duty, and they are as follows. Number one, administrative bond agreement, pawn agreement, pledge agreement, bills of exchange, bonds, In such instruments, the person who is drawing or making or executing such instrument is liable to pay the stamp duty. If a person who is purchasing the property like multi-story building or a flat or a house, who has to bear the stamp duty? Participants, if you know it, you tell.
Purchaser.
It is the purchaser who has to bear the stamp duty. Number 2, lease agreements or agreement to lease. In such instruments, the lessee or the intended lessee, he is liable to pay the stamp duty. Who is the lessee here?
The person who takes the property on lease.
Very good, very good. Number 3, certificate of sale. The purchase of the
There's no one in this
property.
company as a data.
Venunath, when I asked you to deliberate it, you are not giving answer. When I did not ask you to make it, you are making the answer. Let me continue it. Number 3, certificate of sale. The purchaser of the property is liable to pay. Venunath, you are speaking. When you speak, I told you, my tongue is tied, my hands are handcuffed, my legs are fettered. I cannot go further. Please mute. Certificate of sale. The purchaser of the property is liable to pay the stamp duty in case of a certificate of sale. Again, you are better. I could mute you so that.
Yes.
Right. Now I am comfortable. Essentially, value of an instrument not only stamped. Evidentiary value of the instrument not duly stamped. If the duly stamped is not up to the mark, let us see. Section 35 of the Indian Stamp Act does not allow an instrument chargeable with the duty to be admitted as an evidence if it is not duly stamped. Suppose if the less amount is stamped over there, then the court will ask it to stick or adhesive stamp equivalent to the duty which is imposed by the provisions. However, there are certain exceptions to this section, and those exceptions are: number 1, courts and arbitrator may admit documents which are unstamped or deficiently stamped on payment of proper duty and penalty. Yes, sometimes courts or arbitrators may admit documents which are unstamped, but they request them to stamp it again with the suitable amount. Our deficiency is stamped over there. First they accept it, later on they demand to fix the rest of the amount. Number 2, an unstamped receipt is admissible only against the person on whose fault the receipt was not stamped on payment of the penalty of the ₹1. So, in this case also, even they could be admissible and they can ask for the fixing even the ₹1. Of course, ₹1, is it for the 1,000 or 100 or 200? How much the amount for 1,000? One rupee revenue stamp? Anyone? Sir, there is no 1 rupee now, these are 2 rupees. Yeah, is it correct?
No, 1 rupee stamp, revenue stamp is there, sir.
How much the amount? Is it for the 500? Is it for the 5,000? Is it for the 1,000?
I think there is no limit is there, sir.
I don't think that there is no such a thing. Venunath, now he will not speak. Okay, number 3, when a contract has 2 letters attached and any one of those letters are stamped, then in that case, contract will be treated as it is completely stamped. Here what they said, when a contract has 2 letters attached, any one of the letters is stamped totally, that is deemed that everything will be stamped properly. Is it clear? See, 2 letters are there, 2 pages are there. On 1 page only that you stamped everything. Do they reject the another letter or another page? Answer. Participants,
No, it will not be rejected.
E-stamp. Can anyone read?
Through
E-stamp.
modernization, there has been an introduction of e-stamp, or as known as electronic stamp. E-stamp is basically an electronically generated stamp which can be used as a non-judicial stamp and can be used to pay stamp duty to the government. E-stamping is a computer-based procedure and a secure manner for the state to non-payment judicial
Non-payment, no, to pay non-judicial.
to pay non-judicial stamping duties.
So benefits of the e-stamp is, e-stamps are less time consuming, they are very easily accessible, they are cost saving, and e-stamps are user friendly. So it is a modernization that has been the introduction of the e-stamp, or known as electronic stamp. I don't know, I myself also did not see the electronic stamp, because we know only the stamping, either the non-judicially adhesive stamp or the Franklin Mission stamps. But e-stamp, whether it will be produced by the paying on the online, Verunath, now he is keeping quiet. Okay. So, a reference and revisions. What is the reference and revision? Let us see. Here, under the Stamp Act, if the collector is unsure about the amount of duty chargeable for the instrument, then in that case, the collector may draw up a statement of the case and refer it to 5 minutes are left to the controlling revenue authority. So sometimes when the collector is unsure about it, then he will send it to the controlling revenue authority. So my student should have the computer savvy, because the stamp duty is over. The stamp duty is
Over.
over. So now every student of mine should have a computer savvy. And how the computer savvy will come, it will learn through the Act. Now I will show you how to write the reference, and especially for all the students, not only the one student. Am I right?
Sir, I learned from net, sir. From YouTube, and I made it and I sent to you, sir.
See, whenever you send the reference, your reference underline will be only quarter of the page,
No,
not
sir.
full of the page. So that is an art. Just you can go, for instance, for the other people, those who doesn't know, here I want to keep the reference and revision. I want to keep it. Now I will share it so that you could know it, because only 5 minutes are left. Now I will see where the sharing is there. Okay. Yeah. Now I'm sharing. Is it visible? And here I want to keep the referencing. So what you have to do, go to the reference, and there is a research footnote is there. You click it, and there comes symbols. You want to keep it, again you have to press the symbols. No consecutive numbers, you say apply. Then you say insert. Then automatically one has come. And here only quarter of the line would be there. And here you can type it, whatever the footnote is there. But keep in the mind, footnote letters are, it is home you go, then go to the 10 font size, and style of the font is Times Roman. Then you can write it here, whatever you want to write. For instance, my name is there. Okay, write it. Every footnote ends with a full stop. And when you go for the next one, suppose if you want to not here, if you remove the you don't want to keep the Arabic numeral, and you want to keep the asterisk. When you want to keep the asterisk, at the time go for the reference, then go for the rate, and you click the symbol. And here when you click the symbol, and here the symbol came asterisk, then you press it, then you say OK, then you say apply, then you say insert. See, the symbol has come. So you can use the symbol for the author. Consecutive numbers automatically will come when you go for the Arabic numerals. And always keep in the mind, Arabic numerals 1, 2, 3 should be there, not any other. It should be, Arabic numerals should be there. Those are all 1, 2, 3 Arabic numerals. But the body should of the any research work should be, font style is New Roman type, and the font size is 12. And there should be a justification. What is meant by justification?
Control
Anyone?
is
See, here I justified. How I justified? Go to the home, and here you could see there are some points are here. Did you see it? See here. Oh, it is come. So, home, when you say home, see, this is a justification. Where I kept the, suppose if you want to center it, it will came in center. And if you want to justify it, you go for the justification, and it will be justified. So each learner, each researcher, each scholar should have the computer,
with
savvy,
computer savvy.
savvy. That is
What does
techno
that mean, sir?
savvy. So that is the word only Professor Hussain student will say. Other people say computer application, computer knowledge, computer education. Is it clear?
जनगणमनाधिनायक जय हे
भारत भाग्य विधाता
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा
द्राविड उत्कल बंगा
विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा
उच्छल जलधि तरंग
तव शुभ नाम जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा
जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे
भारत भाग्य विधाता
जय हे जय हे
जय हे जय 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 हे
जय हिंद। सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा।